um, this year, in October 2018, I would have spent 6 years at ECA. And I know that these things are relative, but for me, 6 years is quite something. It means that one has had time to have anchors and have roots. And so, to some extent, it seems like that those roots are being somehow, um, and those anchors rather are being disrupted in a way because you're moving, and that's just what comes with moving. It's really a disruptive exercise. It's stressful, but it's the way life is, and so I'm accepting that as gracefully as possible, and preparing myself for a new challenge. I'm going to the United Nations University, and I'm going to the United Nations University Institute of Natural Resources in Africa, called INRA. So that institute is responsible for the management of Africa's natural resources, and looking at it from a research perspective, trying to bridge the gap between science and policy, and supporting African governments, many of whom would pay an endowment funds to be able to benefit from that research support. So this is based in Accra, so that's where I'm heading. So it's very similar to the work that I was doing here. Perhaps it's a bit broader because it comprises of every aspect of natural resources: soils, water, ecosystem, climate change, blue economy, forests, green economy, minerals and extractives. So it's the full works basically, and we are basically working closely with a host of research institutes across Africa, building their capacities, but also ensuring that their research results is serving their governments, and the needs of their governments. Governments have specific needs, and they come to us with those needs, especially on natural resources, which is about the economic vitality of any nation. So that's essentially what I'm going to do. I'll miss ECA. It has been 6 long years, as I said. A lot of memories of things that we have accomplished together. We have, I think, lifted the climate change flag a bit, I would say, particularly in terms of what we did with the African group of negotiators. The last COP, which was a momentous COP, which was COP 21, that was in Paris, I think showcased a lot of what ACPC was doing in the background, in different meetings across Africa, in terms of ensuring that Africa's priorities are heard, and they're taken into account, and that I think we've done quite well, as well as changing the narrative. So we're no longer saying we're vulnerable, we're the victims. We're saying that this is an opportunity. It need not be a set of cataclysmic events that are happening and we're just waiting for them to unfold. So I think that's also a very good thing that we've done. And then I think the work on blue economy, I see it's building momentum, and that I think is something that ACPC started within SIDS, when we're looking at the importance of blue economy and what it could mean for African nations. And I think that work is now gaining ground across even the SROs. So that is something I think we are also very proud of. Fellowship support that we've provided, the Young Lawyers Initiative. I mean, it has somehow ebbed and flowed, but I think there's a need to see how that thrives and continues to thrive, or at least we pick it up, or it's resuscitated, because that was another opportunity for African lawyers to support the negotiations. I know that now we've moved into a phase where we're talking more about climate action, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done in terms of understanding the intricacies of negotiating at a global stage. And so I think that is another activity that we need to bring on board. And the rest, I think, it's been a lot of intense work, publications, in terms of knowledge products, and we're all very proud of that. I'm hoping also that there would be a lot of good collaboration, because one organization comes in from a research perspective and the other organization comes in from a policy perspective, but they both have to meet. So with ECA's gravitas and ECA's economic strength as an economic powerhouse, with UNU's research credentials, I think that the two can actually meet, and we could make them align, they need to be, and see how we could work closely together for the benefit of Africa. So in a nutshell, that's it. And just to say that yes, quite sad that I'm leaving. I'm leaving a lot of very good friends behind. People who have become good friends, who have become part of my extended family, who have supported me throughout these 6 years. And I'm standing here because those people have been, supportive. They've reached out at several occasions, and they've tried to find ways of making the load lighter. So to all of these people here in ECA, but also within the other organizations that we've collaborated with very closely, a heartfelt thank you, and I'm sure it's an au revoir, and our paths will be crossed. It's a small world, and hopefully we'll meet and we'll be able to continue to do good things together.